This video is I'd like to shout out Michael McCona Altheiser. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm terrible about it. This one's for you specifically, buddy. So, over the weekend, the sneak peek happened, and pull rates, I don't remember hearing anybody go, "I got a lightning storm!" So, there's that. Heroes and Games, our local and our sponsor, has two sneak peek events, one in the morning and the one in the afternoon, and I opted to play in the one in the afternoon, but I was there in the morning for the polls because I showed up in the morning to play Dragon Ball, and we'll talk about that later in the video. Plunder Patrol cards, they popped up. People are asking like 25 a piece for some of them, and that was pre-sale prices. I expect they're gonna settle, and you'll be looking at 15 max. I don't expect them to be valuable currently. If there's something you're interested in, you should get them sooner rather than later, because it's kind of a gamble that I'm really hoping for, that they will do right by this archetype, because they seemed to be really excited about it, the way that they, you know, snuck it out to all these different channels and all these different YouTubers. So either this is something like, this is going to be the future of Yu-Gi-Oh!, or they just, Konami wanted to have a bit more of a hand in their, you know, community. And I respect either way. So, I pulled Secret Rare Ignister AI Land, so that was cool. And, Shun was there. He had my Liquid Man. He's not the person I bought it from, but they gave it to him, so I was able to play Heroes. And I am happy to report that they're good. Like, Heroes were good before, but the existence of Colossus kept them from doing anything, because the thing that makes Heroes good is you have a Shadow Mist to search, you have a Stratos to search, you have a Rhoda to search, you have Hero Lives to search, you have Cross Crusader to tribute any Destiny hero to search. So that is 5 different searches that you can trigger in one turn. Stratos is not once per turn. So you can go a Hero Lives for Stratos, search something, normal summon Stratos, search something. You can pull off 6 searches, not to mention Foolish Burial with Vion and nab your Poly. So essentially, the hero turn consists of conducting 4 or more searches in any order, really. Oh, well, I'm just going to turn place here. So, you know, you get all your searches off and you get all your pieces, and that's how you build your combo. And I'm not playing the Dusted Gold Dark Fusion Malicious Bane. But listen, one $60 card was enough for me. So, the Malicious Bane is very good, but what he does is he blows up monsters, and that just feels like overkill to me, because heroes don't have trouble removing monsters, and the monsters they would have trouble removing would laugh at Malicious Bane anyway. Like, heroes struggle to out an equipped sleeper, but a Dusted Gold's not, he doesn't get you out of that, because sleeper can't die to the Dusted Gold either. So I keep calling it the Dusted Gold. It's the Malicious Bane. Regardless, you only really need the one Liquid Man, because you just need, because you're not trying to resolve 0 to acid more than once a game, which, by the way, I pulled off 3 times yesterday, and I only played 5 matches. So I played 1 match that wasn't in the tournament with Alan, another member of our team, and amazing artist. We need to get the channel logo updated on YouTube so that everyone can see it, because so far we've just got the art that he drew for us on our private chat, and we need to slap that up there. And then, you know, so played him, and it all came up because I said, yeah, I'm just going to main deck the one red reboot, because there's no reason for me to not play it, but there is no good reason to put that one of in my side deck when I'd rather just have nice round 3 of. I like having 5 3-ofs in my side deck that hit a large variety of things. So I'm just like, well, we'll put the one red reboot in the main. I've done it before. Back in Goki's, I main decked 3 red reboot because I did purely to stop impermanence. Back in Goki, I played 60 card Goki with no hand traps, but 3 called, 3 impermanence, or 3 called, 3 reboot, 3 mid-breaker, just every single protection card I could, and then extenders out the wazoo, and it worked. It was amazing. I was probably the most hated player at locals for the entirety of Goki format for that reason alone. Because, you know, if I go first and they impermanence me, I might have the reboot. And if I go second and they set up, I might have the reboot. And you just go through them. And so, again, I understand their reasoning for limiting reboot is what it can do, but the real reason they limited reboot is to push people to Lightning Storm. Because if we still had reboot at 3, people wouldn't be looking at Lightning Storm going, I really need that to take out the back row decks. They'd be like, oh, that'll be nice, but I don't need that right now. I can wait until it gets reprinted or the price drops or something, because I've got my 3 red reboot. I've got my 1 red reboot. So, he's playing Guru right now. I thought he was playing Altergeist, but he was playing Guru. I do believe he owns both. Anyway, so we sit down, we have our game 1. I cracked him and killed him because he drew a poor hand. So, you know, if heroes are allowed to play their cards, they just kill you because they put up so much damage. So I got through him. Game 2, I got summon limited, and I'm like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. So he goes, we're just gonna, he activates summon limit, and I chained, mass change, and I summon Tempest, and I go, all right, Tempest, bounce that summon limit. Flips the second summon limit. Big think. All right. So, you know, I tried to play through it, ended up bouncing the summon limit on his turn. My turn rolls around normal summon Stratos to try and get some back row destruction, and strike. We're done here. He took me out. Game 3, the whole reason why we started playing was because I told him that having 1 red reboot in the main doesn't hurt heroes' consistency and will let them just steal games out of nowhere. And it did. It did. I went first. I don't even remember what I set up. I think it was just my standard hero combo for, but I didn't drop the I didn't drop the plasma onto the board. I just I held back some resources to get Liquid Man in hand and just hold that instead of going straight for the plasma, because Guru only activates 1 monster on field, and it's not really the primary concern because I can blow it up or blow up the Hidden City or whatever with the 1 Dystopia. And I just passed, and he didn't see Hidden City during any of our 3 games. He just set 5 back row every single time. And so he sets his 4 back row. We come out here. It comes back to my turn, and I go and I start doing things. He goes impermanence, red reboot. And that's just game. Altergeist and Guru can't play through a single red reboot. That's just kind of how it is. So I ended up coming in like 3rd place at the, because I lost to Eddie in the last round, and Eddie was playing essentially Zach Runcer's Spiral build. We've had Eddie in a couple videos on the channel before, and I really wish that we'd recorded it, but Eddie had played both the morning and the afternoon one, and he said that he was just way too tired, and he would misplay all over the place if he was worried about, you know, the camera, because it was 8 rounds. He actually made a comment halfway through the second tournament. He goes, wait, Doug, how many rounds have I played today? 7? Give me an invite! And you know what? Fair. So Game 1, I lost the die roll. He took it pretty easily because he's playing Spiral with the 3 Magician Souls. Oof! Game 2, we come up, and I had this pretty solidly in the bag, except I am a frothing lunatic and forgot to set Called by the Grave, because if you just set Called by the Grave against Spiral, they just lose. There's nothing they can do unless they are playing Ghost Bell in the main to specifically prevent you from ripping their quick fix and their master plan out of the grave. Because if you Called by the Grave their master plan the first time it hits that drop, they go, huh! And that's just kind of it. There's nothing they can really do about it. So, and, you know, but I forgot to set it, so I lost like an idiot, even though I was, I had Absolute Zero set mass change. And I was like, we set the mass change. And my brain forgot to go, and the Called by the Grave. Because if I'd set them both, he might have, you know, shot the, because he had spell trap removal. But he only had 1 spell trap removal. So he shot out the mass change, obviously. But if I'd had both, you know, even if he'd hit the mass change, I would have had the Called by the Grave and the 1 Dystopia pop. So that would have done it. Because what I ended up doing was using Dystopia to pop my own Absolute Zero. Because Dystopia says card on the field. Any card. Doesn't, not that my opponent controls. So I popped my own Absolute Zero with Dystopia and wiped his board, and he went, huh, okay, a quick fix effect. I win, and I'm like, yeah. Deck's good. Spiral is that deck that always threatened to be good, and then became good, and then got nerfed, and was nerf. Spiral is terrifying, but I don't mind him as much. It's like, they're not so much a glass cannon as, if anyone's seen Hercules, the Disney version, which I assume the majority of people that will watch this video have. Spiral is like the statue of Achilles in Phil's house, where he flicks the heel and the whole thing falls apart. But if you hit it anywhere else, they're invincible. You know, it's just like, they've got one little linchpin that if you whole combo dies and you can take them out. But other than that, they're stupid strong. And this is the 3rd Spiral format we're experiencing, I think. I know we've had at least the one, you know, we had Magician format, Spiral format, Magician after Electromite, and then I think Spiral came back again. I can't really remember. But, so, Spirals are very good. But Heroes, they're alive again in a big way. They just work now that Colossus isn't in the game, and you can play them. And even though they only have a 50% win rate on Dueling Book, I'm gonna say that in actuality, their win rate in competitive play is probably higher, because you gotta remember that since Heroes are such a fan favorite deck, they're getting played by a lot more people. So people that normally wouldn't even be playing this game hear, oh, Elemental Heroes are supposed to be really good? Well, I'm not going to spend any money on this game, but, you know, GX, Generation X, and they're going to hop on Dueling Book and put together a really bad hero build and just jump in there and go at it. So I can guarantee you that at least not an insignificant chunk of the people playing Heroes are just hero fanboys, that not actual like competitive players that are trying to play it. And there are plenty of hero fanboys that are competent competitive players. But Heroes is, I think it's the most popular archetype that Yu-Gi-Oh has. You know, GX was great. You know, it was a great show, and Heroes are just a great aesthetic. They're a fun deck to play. They've got a great aesthetic. The character in the show that played them was very enjoyable. They have a lot of different archetypes and bits. There's just pure elemental hero. There's Neos. There's Vision. There's Destiny heroes. You know, there's evil heroes. So there's a lot of different flavors to heroes. So a lot of people play it. But I feel like since it is so popular, it attracts a lot of the not very serious players. So I'm not going to say that heroes are tier 0, best deck in the meta. But I'm going to say the statistics are probably a little misleading. And they're probably better than you think, but not that good. They're better than you think, but not as good as you're afraid that they might be. I don't know if that's really how I want to say it. So yeah, it's just, we're gonna play heroes, I guess. Overall, I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is fairly healthy, and you know, we got some duels. Got a new way that we're gonna try and post those, doing individual duel videos instead of the entire match, since my phone can't record 40 minutes in a chunk for some reason. See how that works out. Anyway, try and get those duels up sometime soon. Hope you guys enjoy this. Have yourselves a good day. Unlock the shock.